Guitar wireless systems have become such a pivotal tool for us live guitarists. It allows us to get from one end of the stage to the other end while not being tied to the essential leash that we have there. So when you're looking at wireless systems, of course, it's going to be pretty daunting because there are so many different ones out there. You're going to want one that is fairly practical, but of course, having a few bells and whistles is not such a bad idea. So today, we're going to be checking out the NUX B8. This is the ultimate wireless system, and I'm going to show you guys why this is the right one for you. Let's go ahead and take a look at the overall construction of the NUX B8. Yes, it is a guitar pedal format, which makes it really nice. That way you can put it on your pedal boards, and it really just streamlines it to where you can get the B8 from place to place with ease. So no need to rack mount this unit if you don't want to. And the construction just feels really good and solid. It is made of metal. Yes, so no cheap plastic or anything like that. And there's this really nice LCD screen right on the front, and we'll get into that in just a moment. And I mentioned earlier about all the different bells and whistles on a wireless system. Well, the NUX B8 definitely has some good bells and whistles, and some of the more notable ones, at least in my opinion, is the fact that this pedal has a built-in tuner, so you can get rid of your tuning pedal and just use the B8. Also, it has a built-in clean boost, meaning that if you're coming up to a guitar solo and you just want a little bit of extra volume and a little bit of extra gain, well, you can go ahead and hit this guy, activate the boost, and you will be able to make sure that your guitar solo is heard and not drowned underneath the bass guitar because the sound guy has them way too high. Here's a little bit of information for all of you frequency nerds out there. The NUX B8 is running under 2.4 gigahertz, which tends to be a very congested frequency. You have Wi-Fi, you have other wireless units on that, and being on 2.4 gigahertz means that a lot of these devices are pretty prone to interference. But NUX has done something very cool with their B8 unit here. What NUX has done to combat any kind of frequency interference on the B8 is in the newest firmware version 2.1, they have introduced intelligent frequency hopping. And basically what that means is that your B8 unit is constantly looking for the cleanest channel. And if it finds a channel that is cleaner from interference than the one that you were on, it will automatically just switch you on over with no pops, no clicks, no dips in volume, so you don't have to worry about your performance being interrupted for it. And I think that is something that is really cool with this unit. This is everything that comes with your NUX B8. You're going to have your RX, which is your main receiver, and the main unit right there, obviously. And then you're going to have your TX, which is the transmitter, and also your body pack. This is the thing that's going to go on your guitar strap or in your pocket or wherever you like to keep your body pack. And then on top of those two main units, you have the power supply for the RX, which is a 9-volt power supply. So yes, you can power the RX using a regular guitar pedal power supply, which is super, super nice. And then on top of that, you have the USB-C charging cable for your TX transmitter right here. You have a few different options for bases on your RX unit. One of them being just kind of an adhesive rubber base, which is really nice. And then you also have an addition of Velcro. So if you want to put this guy on your guitar pedal board, you certainly can do that, which is great. I love that they have this all cut out just in the perfect shape for it. And then lastly, you have your cable for your transmitter. And this is what's going to go from your transmitter or your body pack into your guitar. And something that's really nice about this is it has this threaded nut right here. So you'll plug this into your transmitter, and then all you have to do is screw this in, and it is secure. There is no way that this is ever going to be pulled out of your body pack. Super, super nice. And then one of the coolest things that I found with the NUX B8, and I know it's kind of a small thing, but I'm completely nerding out about it, is the fact that, yes, you can charge your TX, your transmitter, using the USB-C cable that was given to you in the package. Or what you can do is you can just take your transmitter and hook it to the magnet on the screen, and it charges that way on your actual RX unit. That is so cool, and it makes sure that everything is together and you're not keeping things separate. So no matter where you have your RX unit, you will always have your TX unit as well. When you look at the NUX B8, there's actually a lot going on this pedal. You have your foot switch right here, and then you have these 3 buttons up here, 2 on the side, and then the one in the middle is a push-in, and then you can also toggle with it. And these are the buttons that you're gonna be using to navigate the overall settings on the B8. And then on the sides, you have 4 different jacks, and any way to configure this pedal with whatever pedal setup you have or whatever amplifier setup you have as well. So on this side, you have your input and you have your output/return. And then on this other side, you have your return and your output/send. So there's a lot of different ways to configure this pedal into whatever you have going on in the science that is your guitar rig. And then on top, you have a balanced DI XLR out, and then you have a ground lift switch if you're getting any fuzz or any noise. You have a USB hook in so you can update the firmware of the B8, and of course your power supply hookup. There's a lot going on this guy. I've been sitting here talking about all the bells and whistles on the NUX XB8, and you guys are probably wondering, well, yeah, that's really cool, but what is the range on this unit? So the NUX XB8 has a range of 165 feet, which is most likely bigger than any stage that we are going to be playing on. That is massive. That is awesome. Also, just to note, the body pack that comes with the B8 does also have a battery life of 6.5 hours. So that is plenty of time for us to get up, do our thing, and then get off stage and throw it back on the B8 for more charging. Enough talking about the NUX XB8. Let's go ahead and hook this guy up and let's see how it feels playing through it with a guitar. All right, I have the NUX XB8 all hooked up right here. As you can see, it is on. I have the TX body pack on my guitar strap, and I am using my multi-scale 7-string Diablo from the people over at Balaguer Guitars, and straight from the Diablo into the NUX XB8 and right into my Angle Powerball module from Synergy using the Synergy Syn2 rack unit. And that is literally it. That is all that is in my signal chain right now. So this is kind of the sound that we're getting. I wanted to hook up the guitar and figure out how it feels to play through the B8 because I want to make sure that there's no like latency issues or anything like that. So this is the sound that we are getting right out of it. So that's actually pretty good. I don't feel any weird latency, which is amazing. I think NUX did a great job with it. So as far as the overall layout of the NUX B8 pedal, as you can see, we have these 3 buttons right here. And we also have, obviously, the pedal switch right here. And if you hit the pedal switch, it takes you right over to the tuner. So you can check your tuning and everything like that. And on the tuner, you can actually choose which kind of tuner that you want. So I'm at a chromatic tuner right now. All you have to do is hit this center button, and then you can use the toggle to go to like guitar standard, G, CPS, which I think is probably custom. Let's see, there's bass, and then back to chromatic. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I like just to leave it at the chromatic. That works really well for me. And then you can also choose at which hertz the tuner is tuning at. So I will leave it at 440. And then I'll hit back to go out of that. But that is really cool. Yeah, it's a really good tuner. I'm very much enjoying it. I was able to tune up my guitars, no problem with it. We'll bring you back to the main screen here. So on the left-hand side, you have the RX signal. On the right-hand side, you have the battery level for your TX pack. And then in the center, you have how much signal you're giving to the RX as I play. Yeah, as you guys can obviously see. If you hit the middle button right here, it takes you to basically your settings. And you can go to display. You can do a few different display things. You can change your home display. Yeah, you can switch it to a whole different layout, but I actually kind of like the default layout that they have. You can change the brightness. You can do the boot up picture. So you can like add your own custom picture into the boot up picture. And then there is the language that you can change as well. And then over here you have your TX and RX. Now this is a very powerful kind of setting here. So this is how you can choose how much latency do you want. And where I'm sitting at right now actually feels really good. So you can do lower latency, but when you lower the latency, the signal becomes a little bit more unstable, and it's nothing crazy or anything like that. Like I can go here and I can turn this all the way down, and then we'll just finish that up, and then let's see what it sounds like. Yeah, I'm getting no interference whatsoever. So if you want absolutely no latency at all, you want nothing to do with it, then go ahead and turn that down and just see if you get any interference. And then if you do, you can just bump it up a little bit to like right around there. And we'll go back in. Yeah, and that's right about where I was at the beginning of filming this. And then if you hit back on that, we can go over to the tuner. And there is the different tuning displays that you can choose from. But honestly, I just like the main one that they have right there. And then there is a bypass mode, so you can do a buffered bypass or a buffered monitor. There is the switch, so you can actually choose what you want the foot switch to activate. For me, I have it on tuner, but if you want the switch to activate the boost, you can select that. And when you hit it, it'll just activate the boost, as you guys can see. And then in the middle here, you have the output level. So this is how much output level that you want your B8 to be pushing into your amplifier. And I'll leave that right in the middle there because I like where it's at. And then there is the boost, and you can choose just how much boost you are giving, up to 12 dB, which is massive. So as you see, I have this all the way maxed out because I wanted to show you guys just how much of a difference the boost actually gives to the sound. So we'll bring it back out here and let's activate that boost. And this is what it sounds like through the Powerball module. As you guys can hear, there's a little bit of noise, and that's just because the boost is adding that much more gain, that much more volume to it all. And then without the boost, and then I'll reactivate the boost one more time for you guys. Like, it's adding a lot. It really is adding quite a bit. So since I have the boost now activated by just clicking the foot switch, now if I want to access the tuner, all I gotta do is hold down the foot switch. And there's the chromatic tuner. So basically, whatever one you have selected as the tap feature, it will put the other one as the hold feature for the foot switch. So I can go back over here and hit the foot switch, go back to tuner, go out of it, and your tuner comes up if you just hit the foot switch, and then your boost comes up if you do the hold. So that's kind of cool. I do like that. And not gonna lie, I almost feel like I want to keep the boost as the foot switch tap, just so I can access it easier and quickly as well. And then the tuner. Beautiful. And you don't even have to worry about pairing up your TX transmitter to your RX receiver, because out of the factory, they already come pre-paired. So you don't have to worry about waiting for a signal to come through to be able to pair it to each other. It already comes pre-paired out of the factory, which is really, really great. And then one last thing that I want to show you guys with the NUX B8 is cable tone. It has on your transmitter, has this little on-off switch for cable tone. And basically what that does is it will emulate the tone of you just plugging directly into your amplifier, give you a little bit of that analog kind of sound. So this is it with the cable tone on. And then this is it with the cable tone off. So it's a very, very subtle kind of feeling, but I think I do like having the cable tone on. And as you can see, you can look at the RX and it will tell you if the cable tone is on or not. But yeah, just adds just that little extra zest, that little extra seasoning in there. Yeah, I like it. This is pretty cool. Honestly, the new XB8 has literally checked off every single box for me. Like, the structure feels good. It feels sturdy, like I'm not going to break it in any way. It has a tuner, so I can get rid of my old tuner pedal. It has a boost, so really I don't even need to use a boost pedal unless I'm really shaping up the EQ with it, but this will help add just that little bit of extra gain in there. It has so many different things in it, so many different ways to configure this pedal. This is great. It sounds great. It feels great to play through. I don't think I really have a single bad thing to say about it other than maybe just this one nitpicking thing on the body pack, the jack for the cable that it comes with. I just wish that it came in a right angle versus a straight away there, just because on my guitars, the straight plug actually ends up kind of just sticking out a little bit. But that is literally it. There's no reason for me to dog on this at all. Like, this is a cool pedal. This is a awesome guitar wireless system. It's cool. If you guys would like to get your hands on the new XB8, I will have a link down in the description below. Also, if you guys are enjoying my videos in any way, shape, or form, please consider hitting that subscribe button and that like button because it helps me out a ton here on the channel. And with that being said, my name is Chris with High Impact Audio, and I will see you guys next time.